Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father, Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who have joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same feather. Arjuna wanted to see them on the battle before the fight was begun, just to learn who they were, but he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face. Although he was quite confident of the victory because Krishna was sitting by his side. I will read the last three lines again. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face. Although he was quite confident of the victory, Arjuna is quite confident of the victory because Krishna was sitting by his side. Omagyanatimirandasya jnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकधामय्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सागना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवे प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपसिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कं करोति वाचालं पुंगं लंगायते गिरिं कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्ण श्लोक उच्यमानम् अवेक्षेऽहम् ध्यायतेऽत्र समागतः तत्तरास्त्रयर्दुर्बुद्धे युद्धे प्रिया चिकीर्षवः. It's very interesting shloka where Dhritarashtra's Durbuddhi is proclaimed. Actually, in this world, everyone is Dhritarashtra. Everyone. We might not have the body of him, but we have the mentality of him. The mentality of Dhritarashtra usurping the other's property, or literally it is selfish. Selfishness is the quality which we see in this world. Selflessness is very rare. That is seen in the heart of the Vaishnava Acharyas. Selfishness, selflessness. Arjuna is on a platform of selflessness. But what is he doing? Through that, through that selflessness, what is he doing? Arjuna is actually helping us, giving us an opportunity of how we should lead our life. Now, in the next few slokas, Arjuna begins giving reasons. I will not fight because of this. I will not do this because of this. We'll go into those details. But if you actually see, the core reason why he is not fighting is he has some attachments to her. Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, they also want the property because that is their attachment. Interesting thing. Two people at the same time thinking two opposite things. One person is thinking about him, the other person is thinking about the well-being of others. Dear devotees, here Arjuna is thinking about the well-being of the people, where Duryodhana is thinking about the well-being of himself. Even the well-being of Arjuna thinking about others is condemned here by Krishna. That means Arjuna is actually on the selfless platform. But even that selflessness is condemned by the Lord. Now a question will come, why Arjuna's selflessness is condemned by the Lord? And whatever Arjuna spoke, Arjuna is actually speaking from the scriptures. He's not speaking from his whim. He's actually speaking from the scriptures. Then how come when a person who's actually speaking from the scriptures, how is it that this person words are being condemned? Please think about this. Why Krishna condemned Arjuna? Because through Arjuna's words or actions, deep behind that, there is a strong attachment. Because he is not doing for the pleasure of Krishna. First thing, dear devotees, which we need to underline in our heart. Because Arjuna did not do it for the pleasure of the Lord. He did not do. The moment we are not doing it for the pleasure of the Lord, you know where we will be? Will be kept in the material plane. Here Dhritarashtra, Srila Prabhupada is writing here, see. It was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp, that means take away, the kingdom of Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. See, these two personalities, they are also thinking. But thinking for what? For one own self. When we think about our benefit, one's own self, then what happens? We will be kept in the material plane. Please understand. Thinking about one's own self is itself a problem. That means we shouldn't think about ourselves. We shouldn't ever think. We should think that every thought process should be for the pleasure of it should actually drive through Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Without Guru Sadhu Shastra, our thought process should not be there. Because our so-called thought process is keeping us away. Keeping us away from the real essence, just like how Arjuna was bewildered, we are also bewildered in our life. There's so many people are baffled up in this world. But the problem is, even through that bafflement, nobody understands why this bafflement is coming to me. Because the false ego is so strong, actually, deep rooted in the heart. I'll give another example how this false ego is so strong. When Aristasur came, who is Aristasur? He was a demon who came to kill Krishna, sent by Kamsa. When Aristasur came, all the damsels of Vrindavan, they were in a fearful state. They were actually holding the trees and then chanting the names of the Lord, Krishna Krishna. Through that chanting, they're actually invoking the presence of the Lord. They want Lord to be there and then protect them. If you see every pastime in Vrindavan, they all have depicted the same thing. What are they? What is every pastime depicting? Every pastime is depicting that the devotees are kept in a difficult situation. Devotees take shelter of the Lord, and the devotees are protected from the Lord. Every pastime is this. They are depending, they're getting the mercy, shelter, and protection. They are saved. Again, they are depending, shelter, and mercy. Again, they are saved. It's a continuous cycle. And then through this cycle, what happens? Their relationship with the Lord is deepening, strengthened. Now, as a sadhaka, as a practitioners, we also get difficulties. And Krishna gives those difficulties so that we can come closer to Him. But the moment we get one difficulty, we are not in a position to accept it. We want the difficulty to be gone away soon so that we can engage in something else, so that we have peace of mind. A lot of people will chant Hare Krishna to be peace out, to get peace of mind. अच्छा है अभी कोई डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेगा nobody will disturb me. I'll just chant Hare Krishna. 1 second, actually my battery is running off. 1 second. Hare Krishna. So we want to be away from those problems. We should remain with peace of mind rather than we chant Hare Krishna. But our chanting of Hare Krishna should not be done for that. Our chanting of Hare Krishna, it shouldn't just be for that. Oh, I'll get some peace, some peaceful state. If that is, if no doubt it might begin through that, but slowly but eventually, our chanting, slowly but eventually, our chanting should be done for the pleasure of the Lord. Please understand. Because if these things are not rightly being taken care, it will be done for us. Just like Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, what are they doing? They're trying to pull the property. Why? Because they're convinced that if I get the property, I will be happy. Aren't they convinced that? They are convinced actually. They are convinced that if I do this, I will be the most happiest person. But they don't know that obstructing, don't you know that, don't we know that Duryodhana, what he is doing is wrong? Doesn't he know? He knows. Don't we think that Duryodhana doesn't know the, don't we know that Duryodhana doesn't know the dharmic, the principles of dharma, the codes of dharma? He went to the school. He knows. He knows everything. He knows the codes of the dharma. But still he's doing it. Why? Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra also know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still they're doing this. Why? Everything is there, but still they're aspiring for this. Why? Don't we think that Duryodhana can be satisfied with what he has? Can be satisfied. He can be happy in whichever situation he's been kept in. But no, he doesn't want to stay at that place. He wants more. Is this not how this entire world is running now? Let's think about this. At the beginning of the session, I said Duryodhana's mentality is his entire world. Now, if you go and connect everyone, anyone, and ask this question, are you happy? Not anyone, just ask ourselves. Are we really happy? The answer says, if I get this, I will be happy. But the answer will be, if I get that, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy. If I do that, I'll be happy. If I go to this place, I'll be happy. If I go to Vegas or the Disney World, whatever, I don't know. If we go there, we'll be happy. That means we always have some expectations. And then through that expectation, we are thinking that we'll be happy. Now, Arjuna also had an expectation. Now, he's giving reasons through that expectation because he doesn't want to do that. Please think about this. The expectation which Arjuna is actually giving is these expectations are the root cause of his suffering. It's actually very interesting. Duryodhana aspiring more. He wants more. His conviction is to get that more. If the property has been divided into two parts, he can happily survive. He can happily be happy with that. He can happily lead that kingdom, that half kingdom can be the king. The other half can be the others, the Pandavas. But no, he wants full. He doesn't want anyone else other than him to be the master. This is a problem actually in this world. Even a person who is working on a low level, let's say for example, who's just an engineer, and then there's a senior director who came to the office. And then this engineer will aspire to become that senior director one day. Expectation. Now another question will come. Why these expectations are there for us? Why do we have these kind of expectations in our life? Because the jiva, the conditioned soul, is always thinking that through this expectation only I will become happy. Now, why the jiva is thinking like that? Because jiva, whatever he has now, that is not giving him satisfaction. That is the core reason, dear devotees. The core reason is what we are doing now is not giving us happiness or satisfaction to the heart. Now, what kind of happiness and satisfaction we will get through this body, which is temporary? Temporary happiness. If you are connected to something temporary, we will get temporary happiness. But if you are connected to something divine, something on the absolute plane, you get absolute happiness. Currently, right now, our happiness is on a relative state. We are looking happiness through this relative platform. We are not aspiring for that absolute platform. Aspiration for the absolute platform can only be given to us through association. There is no other way. One cannot remain in the absolute platform through his own endeavor. We cannot do that by ourselves. It has to be given to us. And that is the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Acharyas came. Because the whole point of Lord Chaitanya coming is this, to give love of God. Now, how a person will get that love of God? Through association, becoming free from the expectations. Now, Arjuna became free. Then only he fought. Just imagine if you're thinking something and then doing another thing. Will that work? No, because you're thinking that either you complete that or do this. You cannot do both. Just like Arjuna, he was unable to fight because his heart was not accepting it. He realized that. So a sadhaka should at least come to that. We as a practitioner, we should at least come to that state. That कुछ तो problem है. I've been chanting, but still I'm not getting that. Why? These are the questions which we need to ask. Just like Arjuna asked Krishna, we need to ask our spiritual master. Because they are the representatives of the Lord. Very, very important. This is the secret of advancing in Krishna consciousness. If we get this, then we will make immense progress. Otherwise our progress is checked. Just like Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, they are thinking that through their understanding, they know they know the principles of dharma, but they don't want to follow it because they want to lord, over this material nature. This is a core problem actually. The suffering in this world is coming through that. You want to enjoy this world. Because how does one enjoy it? Through expectations. You have a lot of expectations. I was talking to my colleague yesterday. He has like a 3 bedroom home. He renovated, everything is done. And then I asked him, now everything is good. I think you're satisfied now. Are you opting for a bigger home now? It's a little curious. So yeah, definitely. No. I'm having I'm planning to have another bigger home. So, so the entire life goes like that. One expectation after another expectation. One thing after another. You do this, then you'll get another thing. After this, another thing. After this, another thing. Continuously. There's no stop. Expectation after expectation. Duryodhana did not stop. First, he gave Kandavana to Pandavas. That was transformed into Indraprastha. He was jealous. He was envious by seeing the big, big palaces. It was representing Vaikunta. He didn't like that. Then they cheated on them. One expectation of the other. What he wants to do, he wants to put them down completely. Then through the match of gambling, they cheated on them. And then they took away their entire property and then sent them to the forest. Now he's happy. Again, after coming back, he's not happy. Because he doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to see the other person happy. Again, another expectation to put them down. Then the battle. Why battle? Because he completely want to wipe off them. Why? Because he wants that property. He wants to be the king. I am the center. I am the center of this attraction of this world. I am the center of this world. They say in the materialistic world, they say this, right? Run your dream or whatever, something like that. Just aspire your dream. What is a dream? The dream is in the illusory state. So your aspiration will be in the illusory state. Even though you're running behind that dream, they say that American dream. What is that American dream? I've asked so many colleagues, what is this American dream? He says it depends. Everyone has their own dream and they're running behind it. It's a it's an American dream. What is that? They're aspiring for something which is not there. That is what Duryodhana is doing now. Is it different? 5,000 years ago, what he aspired, he is also dreaming. Duryodhana's dream, not America's dream. Duryodhana's dream. I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to put them down. Put these people down. In this world, we cannot put others down. So what we want to do is we want to become big. You're not putting down. But in the heart and heart we have, no, I should go more forward. In the heart and heart we have, should become big, 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 big. Dream, dream, dream. And for that, first I come to an apartment and then to a town home, then to a single family home, then to a bigger single family home. And then eventually we come to 60, 70, and then we leave the body. Is this what? Is this the purpose of this life? To lead the life, to buy, to for the next 20, 30 years, just pay the mortgage. And then there is always a fear. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my job? What's going to happen if my job is lost? And then out of that fear, we see the news. What's going to happen? How is the market? Srila Prabhupada says about this. When he was standing in New York, then he was seeing people are, cars are, Prabhupada says, cars are going like zoom, 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 this side, and cars are going on this side, from left to right, right to left. Prabhupada says, what are you guys doing? By going like this, left to right, right to left. It's just wasting our time. Just wasting this valuable human form of life. And then we come to the fag end of life. And then at that time, we want to practice Krishna consciousness. We cannot sit properly, cannot hear properly. What can we practice? It becomes difficult. So at this fag end of this life, what do we do? Continuously chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. More rounds, more rounds. Because we cannot do other services. That is the greatest service. Simply be absorbed. But this mentality which Duryodhana is actually showing through this shloka, we need to check in our heart. We need to see if we have that kind of mentality, my dear Lord, I don't want that mentality. I don't want. That is not my aspiration or that is not my goal. Please, Krishna, please keep me away from that. I don't want that. That is not my goal. Please help. Please help. I want to become a devotee and then serve very nicely. Don't want any of these things. न धन न जन न सुंदरी कवितां वा जगदीश कामे मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवते भक्तिरहितु कितो. My dear Lord, do not want opposite sex. Do not want name, fame, profit, adorations. Do not want money. Simply want to serve life after life. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavate bhakti rahetu kitva. Just see, on one state, the consciousness is completely on a selfless plane, and the other state, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give us is that. Now, we need to compare and contrast how we can bridge this gap. That is the purpose of this human form of life. How can I bridge that gap? How can I come out of that impurities? That is the whole point. That is the whole point of why we do Shravana and Kirtan. To develop that right attitude and then the spirit of service. That is the intention actually. There is no other intention in this world. That is the only intention. That is the goals we need to dream for. This is a real dream. We are not dreaming in the material plane. We are dreaming in the spiritual plane. That is the real essence, that is the real thing which will give us satisfaction to the heart. For this, we need to run. My dear Lord, let me run. Let me run for this. Let me run. My dear spiritual master, I will simply aspire to do this again and again. Dana Jana Sundari, I don't want that. I want this. This we need to aspire. Because what are the greatest attachments and obstructions? This only. Everyone should think that I'm good. Everyone should know me. Everyone should understand me. I should become the center. What is this? This is attachment. I should have more wealth. Why? For what? For sense gratification. This is what I want. That's what Duryodhana is also aspiring for. He wants more, 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 more. But was he happy at the end of his life? You've seen how brutally he was. He was been he was been killed by Bhima. After killing, he took all his property back with him. No, couldn't take any of those things. That's the problem. The same thing is applicable for us. Either we voluntarily give or the death will take us away from us. Either there's only two things. Staying in the internal energy or staying in the external energy. There is no other thing in this world. That Tatastha, the Jiva who is in the marginal potency, he can either remain in the internal energy or in the external energy. Now we see through the life of Arjuna, through that expectation, he left that internal energy and he took the association of the material plane, the external energy. That was the reason for his bafflement. Now Krishna tells Arjuna, Hare, what is the reason of lamentation? He quotes in Gita in second chapter. Krishna tells Arjuna, but what is the reason of your lamentation? Why are you lamenting? He uses his example. Before that, he confirms that Dehinosmin yata de kaumaram yavaram jana. Tata dehantara pratyir dhira, sir, you are not this body but a powerful spirit soul. And then he speaks on the soul platform for the next 18 slokas. And then afterwards he says, why are you lamenting? You're not killing them. They're already dead. If you do not take it, I will use some other way to kill them. If you want to become an instrument, you can become. Otherwise, have other ways for doing things. It's up to you. Immediately accepted it. That is a beauty. That is the beauty of the devotees. They immediately accept. They accept that situation and move forward. So, this aspiration, we need to analyze. We need to think about these aspirations, dear devotees. Actually, grandfather Bhishma Dev was actually very dear to Arjuna. Very dear to Arjuna. So that was quite natural. Arjuna becoming attached to that person. But Krishna has some other plans. Just like the way we are attached to our family members, that's natural. But Krishna has something else, something more to you, something more to us. He's telling, then what about me? Yes, no doubt you are attached to your family. And what about me? Krishna will ask this question. Life after life, I am taking care of you. Everything. No, Krishna will not think like that. We need to see from our side. But Krishna is giving us everything. Not this life, not this body. He gave us this body. Without this body, can we sustain? We cannot sustain. We will sustain. We will be sustained because we are not this body. But if this body is not functioning, can we work diligently? No. Now, who is giving this strength? Who is giving this intelligence? Krishna. So every life, he is actually helping us in so many ways. Now, in this life, if we don't turn towards him, then what are we doing? Is that good practice? That's not good practice. Important. That is not good practice. Because every moment Lord is there to help us, and we are unable to serve him diligently. We are unable to serve him. Then what's the problem with that? It's a big problem actually. On one side, Arjuna was actually attached to Bhishmadev. Krishna is telling that attachment is actually taking you away from following your principles. That attachment. I want some higher things to be done from you. That is my expectation. But you are unable to do that. That is the whole point he spoke Bhagavad Gita. Because he wants Arjuna to come out of that platform. Interesting to read about it. Bhishma Dev has a deep relationship with Arjuna, has a connection with Arjuna. Now this Arjuna is unable to do his practices because he has attachment to Bhishma Dev and his family. Now we also remain in the family. We are also attached to our wife or our parents or kids. But we need to see what kind of attachment is it. We should attach to them. Now, after so many years of practice, after so many years of attachment, or after so many years of staying in the family life, we got connected to Krishna consciousness. Let's take that scenario. Let's say you're married for 20, 25 years, stayed in the way the normal people will live, and then you got connected to Krishna consciousness at the age of 50 or so. Now we have attachment. It's a fact because we are there with them so many years. Now say that we should cultivate attachment to Krishna and the pure devotees. How is that possible? Becomes difficult. No doubt it is. It becomes difficult. It's not easy because we will be remembering all those things, Purane Din, all the old days, and then here they say surrender, Sarva Dharman Parityajat. How is that possible? That is why there is a big gap. The gap is very big. Through that big gap, what we think that, oh, this is only there, but this is not applicable to me. This is only there. But dear devotees, when we see through this example of Arjuna, it gives us great hope actually and solace. The moment we get connected to the Lord, everything is seen as a service to Him. After that, also we have attachment, but our attachment will be through Krishna, not individual attachment. Individual attachment is danger. We cannot attach. Through Krishna, we are serving them. That means, whom are we attaching to? We are attaching to the Lord. We are attaching to the pure devotees. Because for their pleasure, we are engaged in this service of taking care of the family. Very important. Otherwise, just like how you see who Arjuna is, it's a great personality. For him, he has to go through this. Don't we think that this kind of situation will come to us? Definitely it will come, for sure. There's no doubt about it. We will get those situations. So through that every situation, Krishna trained Arjuna that you turn towards me. And that's what we should do. We should turn towards the Lord. Turn towards Srila Prabhupada. Turn towards his life, what he has done in his life. Turn towards a spiritual master, what they have done in their life. This we need to check. Hare Krishna. Well, stop here. Anyone has any questions? Would like to add anything? Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you all very much. Do not have any questions. We will wind off here. Thank you all very much. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhamma Pranam, all good
Yes,
Guru
yes, Supreme Mataji, yes.
Actually, I
Please
heard
take.
you fully heard class today after a long time. Sometimes I'm not able to come because we have a local, Bhagavatam
Right,
reading.
right, right.
So I'm jiggling between the class and that, and sometimes have to leave at quarter to 8. But very nice class, Prabhuji. Your realizations are so nice, very clear cut, and it's like. Uh, I like that point about how from small house to big house, and then but sometimes Prabhuji, say we have a small house and a lot of guests come, and every time we have to empty out our room or our puja room, which has a bed or whatever, and then it's like we get disturbed. So in that case, sometimes if we have to move to a bigger accommodation so things can, our spiritual life can be a little bit better, like use material situations, and if we can afford it, of course, then to go to a better accommodation in connection to how it is affecting our spiritual life, then it is okay, Prabhuji? Or it has to be like the way you said in the class, it's like a no, like other we'll be fulfilling these desires only. How do we take it from this angle, moving from a smaller accommodation to bigger? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Actually, the problem is not with the home. The problem is with the heart. Even though if guests come, if we have good relationship, I remember when I was a child, we all used to sleep in one room. Parents, children, all used to sleep in one room. Even if we used to have like just 2, 3 rooms. Even if relatives come, they could adjust in the same place. So we have never seen any problems. So likewise, that small home, if that is satisfying us, we should be satisfied with that. Let's say if the guest would come, we can give our room and then we can sleep in the hall. There's no problem actually. So, but for if guests are coming, that's why I want to take bigger home now. Because that bigger home, what is happening? Again, you have to spend more mortgage. You have to see. For example, there is a layoff, then it's a problem. We are not understanding how this material world is designed, because our whole idea and logic should be coming closer to the Lord and closer to Sarva Acharyas. That is the whole idea. For that to happen, around that everything should manifest. I remember my spiritual master telling, our spiritual life should be in the center, and then everything should revolve around that. Not like I will add my spiritual life into my material life. No, 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 no. Spirituality should be the primary thing, and everything it should revolve around it. Not that we add spirituality to it. So we can actually lead a life, simple life. Cannot go into big things, because the big things, what happens is it brings a lot of anxiety. Especially you see the interest rates that skyrocket. It will never come down. It's difficult to pay all those mortgages. You have to work more. It's a problem actually. And the guest will come only for a couple of days. We need to adjust our heart in such a way that just we should accommodate our heart for a couple of days. It's possible actually. Can't we accommodate? It's possible. It's possible. Remember, mothers used to cook for like 10 people at home. If guests would come, she would cook for 10 people. And still, she's happy doing those things. So, it's easy to accommodate if we have that. That's loving and caring heart. Just think about Srila Prabhupada, who actually used the same refrigerator where meat was being kept at Sally Agarwal's home. I've seen that home personally with my eyes. It's in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's very small apartment, very small. Prabhupada stayed there. Just imagine when Acharya established the organization, he stayed in that small place. If Srila Prabhupada can accommodate, we should also accommodate. Because why am I giving that example is, in every situation, we should see how our acharyas have done. That gives a lot of motivation for us. And that actually brings us to the platform of deep surrender to the Lord, to the acharyas. Because please do not aspire for these big homes. It's not good. If you have money, spend the money in the service of the Lord. But do not. Spend the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada did so much for his life. He gave so much. So many things actually. We should use our money. Whatever you're close to the temple, give some money to them. They will use it in the service of the Lord, service of Srila Prabhupada. If we have money. But don't use that money by spending in those banks. Who is gaining? For example, let's say I took another home. Let's say I have a 2 bedroom home, I took a 4 bedroom home. Now I'm seeing that I'll be having more space. But who is actually gaining? The bank is gaining. The bank is the person who is actually gaining it. We are losing actually. Because we have to put more strength, more energy, now bigger mortgage. Know what to do. That's the that's the thing which Duryodhana also had. He's seen Indraprastha of Pandavas, and his heart was not accepting it. He was jealous, envious, and then he felt that I want that. Then he sent all of them to the forest. So likewise, we might not want the other person's property, but we are doing it's one way. We are not cheating anyone. Yes, you are just aspiring for a bigger home. We are not cheating anyone. To be honest, actually, we are not cheating anyone. We are not doing like Duryodhana. We are doing everything in the right way. And you are also telling there is a reason for that because guests will come. Right? So they all look good. They all look good reasonings. Arjuna, just see is Arjuna's side now. Through your example, let us see through Arjuna's side. Arjuna was actually looking towards Bhishma Dev, and then he has seen how Bhishma Dev lifted him up, how he embraced him. He was actually doesn't he think all of those things? Yes, those things will come. How Bhishma Dev helped him, how Bhishma Dev trained him, how Dronacharya trained him, his spiritual master, how he trained him. How can that person will kill those people? No, he cannot. But Krishna is expecting more from him. So likewise, even from us, Srila Prabhupada has more expectations. Krishna has more expectations. Thinking, Arey Baba, you are engaged, you are absorbed in this thing, in this properties and this and that. Then when will you come to me? It becomes difficult. The process becomes difficult. Just imagine if the person carrying 30 years of mortgage. Wow. It's a loan. Appu. Loan is what? You have to, that's baggage. We already have karmic baggage. We have no this baggage also, which is shown, which is seen to us. Chanakya Pandit says the person who doesn't have loan, he's happy, which is a fact actually. He is happy. Very important. Thank God I do not have loans. I'm happy. It's important. No loans. What is this? It's a problem actually. We cannot concentrate on the truth. We cannot come to the absolute plane. That is the one which is obstructing us. So we should strive. If we already have a home, we cannot do anything. So if we can just maintain whatever we have, try to go for extra endeavor and use the money in the service of the Hare Krishna. Is that okay, Amma? Rupini
Yes,
Amma?
Prabhuji, I just wanted to add, like I was not able to
Sure.
fully, basically not for guest, but sometimes there is older mother coming from India staying with us. Sometimes there's a marriage in the family now. The daughter needs cannot share with the bedroom with the same sister. So the son-in-law is there in the family. So some situations like that come, and nowadays I notice that some of the Indians among devotees also, they're like, I'm not there at that platform. They're so intelligent that they're living in USA, but they buy a bigger home from the beginning only, because you never know later on, because here we cannot expand. And so there are some other practical reasons also, not only for guests, Prabhuji. Like, I'm sorry when I mentioned that, because
Yeah. No.
so and of course then we can always sell our smaller home and take the equity in this to the bigger one, and then accommodate everyone accordingly, because as a responsibility we have when we are especially when we are in our 50s, and we have expansions in different way. So but yes, I really liked all the points that okay, we take a house because we actually need it, because of like situations like older person coming and staying permanently here with their green card and all that. But yes, now when we buy a home, doesn't mean, I think one of some lecture on Prabhuji was there, that doesn't mean that you have TV in every room, doesn't mean that you fill up the whole place with buying this and that. So just keep it nice and simple, everything centered, like you said, on like Krishna's in the center and everything focuses around it. So that's a wonderful point, and I'm going to keep that in my mind, because materially we want this and that, and but yes, I've seen some devotees who have already bought homes here, and they have done that on the basis that it's they know there is no scope of expansion, unlike India, where you can make a floor or do some extension. So I think time, place, circumstances, one has to, but yes, keeping everything that you said is absolutely right. There's no requirement, then one should suffice in whatever we have. So just wanted to add that, Prabhuji. Thank you for your guidance.
Hare Krishna. Right.
Hare
I think it is very important. If you have simple purposes, simple living, and high thinking, if you live simply, you can think higher things.
Yes.
Then we should strive doing that. Hare Krishna. Yes, Vamshi, let's go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the wonderful class. My question was kind of similar to Rupini Mataji's question. So in some situations, we have to spend more for the mercy and for serving the devotees or the Lord. And sometimes, in the material world, we have to do some planning. I know in a very austere way, we don't plan at all, like financial planning or saving for retirement, etc. But then, if we don't do that, is that austerity or being foolish? Because we know that at some point we will lose our job or we won't have this situation where we get a salary. So I just wanted to know, because in some places we say don't even buy a bigger tube of toothpaste because you don't know you're not going to live after a month. So are we being too audacious to plan for the future, or should we just take everything day by day?
Actually, planning is definitely required. Not that we do not plan, but what is the intention behind it? That is important. That is the reason why Rupa Goswami says this. 50% of the income which we get should be engaged in the service of the Lord. He's a financial minister. He knows all the numbers. They're the prime ministers, Anatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, those times, under Nawab Hussain Shah. They know everything actually. And then who are they? They came from the spiritual world. Manjaris. Now they are telling should engage 50% of the salary in the service of the Lord. That is what they said, right? So now the point is the thing which we have in our realm is we have so many other commitments. That is the only problem actually. So many other commitments other than the real commitment. So what is that doing is that is not helping us to come to that platform. So he also told one thing: 50% you used in the service of the Lord, other 50%, 25% for your family, 25% for you, maintenance. Is that not planning? He's actually seeing the future. He's actually thinking that just like just like just like what just like how Rupa Goswami is giving this principle, he's actually seeing about he's thinking about the future. Other 25 should be helpful for his sustenance, 25% for his family. But that is the highest, that is a standard which is little difficult. But that is also planning. Seeing through what to be done, what not to be done. That's a planning which we should do, should aspire. And then slowly through that planning, because we see if we are already in our 40s, we'll slowly we'll go to 50s. And children will be old enough. And then they will go to college, they will go work. Then they're settled. Now we should see from our side, what am I doing? We should aspire. This is also planning. Because in this planning, if you see, everything is surrounded towards Krishna, centered around him. Because he is the center. Everything is surrounded around him. That we need to see. If he is around everything, because in every situation, then we feel that even the 25% or 50% which we have, that is also given to me as a mercy by the Lord. Then everything will become spiritual. And Srila Prabhupada gives this example. There's big elephants in the forest. They're surviving. What we survive? We can survive with this principle, what Rupa Goswami is giving us. It's a beautiful principle. Hare Krishna. Am I making sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Because in these things, Lord is actually present. In all our thought process, He's there. It's like a person, he told one beautiful thing. This person has a goshala. He runs a goshala. And he comes to my spiritual master, he asks, can you donate a cow? It's in India. And then spiritual master already taking care so many cows, around 300 cows. He did not tell that I'm already taking care, but he said, I will give. He gave, and then he said about his thing. Then the other person, you know what other person told? This is what he said. He asked, how many children you have? He said, I have one son. Let's say if you have two children, won't you give your property to your second children? Yes, I will give. Your mother, the mother cow, is your second child. Please give her something. This is how he told. And then he was inspired with that. So likewise, we have family, but this family is everything is actually given to us by the Lord. We should always see what I can do to serve the Lord. That is the best way of using our Lakshmi in the service. That is the best way of ensuring ourselves going back to her. Because what are we doing? We are doing a karma yoga for the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. We'll stop here.
Hey, Krishna Prabhu, one quick question. If you have a few minutes.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, Prabhu. My question was about Bhagavad Gita. Could you please tell me what was Sanjaya's qualification for him to have access to Lord Krishna's narration of Bhagavad Gita? Like, what?
Because he's a dear servant of Vyasdev. Because he pleased his spiritual master.
I see. Okay. All right.
He
Thank
gave
you.
that mercy.
Okay.
If we please, then we will also get mercy.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else have? I heard some voice in the middle. Because Prabhuji is still here, we can catch on him. Anybody has any question, comment quickly? Otherwise, we'll end the call with a prayer and continue with our seva for the day. Anybody else? Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
We look
Hare
forward.
Krishna.
Vancha kalpatrubhasya kripa Ananda Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
I forgot Prabhuji's name. Prabhuji ki jai, who give the class.
Neela Govindas Prabhuji ki jai.
Neela Govindas Prabhuji ki jai. everyday chant devotees ki jai. Today we missed Shamarasika Mataji, Prabhuji, and even Gita Mataji I didn't hear. So
they are at Gita Nagari.
That's our like enthusiastic population has gone away.
Yes.
So it seems like a dull today, but yeah, we'll
They are at Gita Nagari.
probably on Monday. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you once again for joining regularly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I will end the meeting.